My name is Rachel Keeler. I am the Value Hub Director for the African Venture Philanthropy Alliance. And I will be taking you through the demo of our deal share platform today. Excited to have you all with us. So let me share my screen and then just tell you a little bit about the platform. Here we go. Okay, great. So the Deal Share platform is a platform that does exactly that. It allows different social investors to share deals with each other. So AVPA, we are an industry network. We work with a lot of different types of social investors, foundations, family offices, impact investors, fund managers, private equity and venture capital investors, as well as donors and philanthropists, angel investors, anyone who is deploying capital in Africa to achieve social impact. And really, what we strive to do is bring those different investors together in ways that they might not be able to connect elsewhere, because a lot of people operate in different silos. There's the impact investing crew, there's the corporate social investors. They might not often talk to each other. There are the early stage investors, the later stage investors, philanthropists deploying grants as opposed to other people deploying debt and equity. And we really look for opportunities to bring those different investors together. And the Deal Share platform is one of those opportunities. We are hoping to facilitate a better flow of capital toward high impact enterprises and organizations through this platform by allowing you to sort of bring deals that you care about to the platform and share them with others, whether you're looking for a co-investor or a follow-on investor, to really be able to crowd more capital into companies and organizations that are having a strong impact on the continent. So the platform allows you to endorse a deal, which means, you say, here's a company or an organization. You can also bring a nonprofit to the platform that I have worked with as an investor or funder in the past, or am looking to invest in the future. And I want to help that organization raise capital from other investors by putting it on the platform. The platform is based on a successful model that is run in Asia by our sister organization, AVPN. They've had a deal share platform there for several years now. They've got, I think, 380 plus deals live on the platform right now. And it's been very successful in Asia. So we're really excited to bring this model to Africa and just help investors to share deals with each other. So today I'm just going to take you through the platform itself. We launched the platform in November of last year, and we are running a pilot to see, what kind of response we might get from the market, how people might use a platform like this, and we've had a really good response so far. We are offering free access to the platform for any investor who wants to sign up to just test it out, tell us what you think, and see if we can scale it from there. So if you want to join the platform, if you're not already on it, you would just come here and register as a new subscriber. And that takes you to a pretty simple form that just tells you about the platform. And we ask you some basic things. We try not to make the data capture too onerous. So we just want to know a bit about your organization. The platform is only for investors. It's not for entrepreneurs. So the idea is that the investors come on and you share the information about the deals with other investors that you care about. So it acts as a sort of a filtering mechanism as compared to a platform like, for example, VC for Africa, which is accessible to thousands of entrepreneurs and has kind of a different type of deal flow that comes through it. So we are a network for social investors, and the platform is for investors. So As the investor, you come on, you register for the platform, you tell us about your work. What kind of organization are you? We look at all these different types of organizations, corporates and corporate foundations, other foundations, family offices, faith-based entities. We find are also really important to deploying capital, social capital across the continent, governments as well, sustainability aligned fund managers, it's like impact fund managers, incubators, accelerators. We're working with angel investors as well. So we also look at non-financial capital. So we want to bring providers of things like technical assistance, business development services, HR, legal. We find that a lot of the companies and organizations that are seeking financial capital are also seeking non-financial capital and support. So when you put a deal onto the platform, they can ask for different types of capital depending on what they need to grow. So we're also open to having those providers on the platform as well. So then when you just tell us about what you do, which sectors, social causes do you work on? Who are your main beneficiaries? Um, what type of implementing partners do you support? Do you work with nonprofits, for profits? Who do you deploy capital to? Um, and a few other questions. What kind of capital do you deploy? And and we ask you also what your organizational focus areas are. The idea here is that we uh, we know that by going to someone's website, you can see that they invest in, maybe green energy and agribusiness, and a million other sectors, perhaps depending on what kind of investor you are. But often, in any given quarter, an investor might be interested specifically in building up their network or their portfolio in a specific area, or finding partners who are working on a specific project or moving into a new market. And so we really try to pinpoint that here so that you can build partnerships more strategically with others who are on the network. The network is open to anyone who is investing in Africa, but headquartered anywhere in the world. So we work with investors based in the U.S., in Europe, in Asia as well. So and we've got a sister network also now in Latin America. So we're really trying to bring together investors from all over the world, as well as investors based on the continent. So you give us, your contact and little bit of information about yourself, and that's it. So you register. We review your registration. It doesn't take you straight onto the platform. It is a closed platform. So to protect your data and encourage data sharing on the platform, we require a subscription to so that you can log onto the platform and see other people's data. So we do a bit of review of who's coming onto the platform, and then we just want to know a bit about you, about who you are, and then we get you onto the platform. So then you can sign in. So I'll just sign here, and it will, after we approve your profile, create a profile for you. It'll take you here. So this is the AVPA social investor profile. These are, the sectors where we work. Information that we ask you to provide to us, a little bit about AVPA, what we are working on right now, launching the Deal Share platform, running the pilot. And then there's me. I am the main Deal Share contact for AVPA. And you can contact people directly through the platform. We don't give out your email address to anyone. They'll send you a message here that'll shoot straight to your email, and then you can decide if you want to reply. So we protect your data, but try to make it easy for you to connect with people, other investors on the platform. And you can also edit your profile once you create it. So you can go in here and edit any of these entries. If you want to update your current focus areas in next quarter, you want to change the sectors that you're working in, you can edit any of these things. It'll also show you on your profile any deals that you've added to the platform. So once you register, once you get on the platform, if you would like to add a deal, you don't have to add a deal. We really encourage the purpose of the platform is to share deals. But if you're just looking for deals or partners and you don't have any deals that you want to endorse, you can also just register as a social investor without adding a deal. But you can consultants, way, you can come on once you've registered and add a deal through this form, and you can add as many deals as you want. So here, it'll take you through another form that asks you, do you want to take an existing capital seeker that's already on the platform or add a new one? The way that the platform is set up is once you add a company that's or an organization that's seeking capital, they can then add more deals. So say this year, a company that you've added to the platform is seeking seed funding or Series A. Next year, they're raising a series Series B. They're looking for later capital or different type of capital. Maybe they've got a new project, they want some grant capital, so they can add more deals for the same company or organization over time. So you can pick an existing one that's already on the platform, or you can add a new one. So it'll ask you just for some basic information about that organization, same as when you registered. Where do they work? What do they do? And then you can put for the contact person here either yourself as the investor. We've got some of our clients for the deal share who want the correspondence to go through them for the deals that they've endorsed. Or you can just put the organization or the company themselves and people can get directly in touch with them. So once you go through and add your capital seeker, I'm not going to take you through all the data right now, but you do that and then it'll take you here to give us information about the actual deal. What is the capital that that company or organization is looking to raise right now? So you give us some information. Is it financial capital they seek? Which sustainable development goals would this project contribute to? What's the social problem they're trying to solve? What is their solution? How much money do they need? What type of money do they need? Grants, convertibles, debt, equity. Maybe they don't need any money. Maybe they just need non-financial capital. Maybe they need coaching, mentoring, human resource support, impact measurement support, legal support. There's so much that an organization needs to grow in Africa. And so, any of that can be put in here. And then you just tell us about, what kind of HR do you need? What kind of, consulting support do you need? So it's really it's a flexible tool. You can give us as much data or as little data as you want. If you give us a little bit of data, we might come back to you and ask for a bit more. But it's really up to you how much data you feel comfortable sharing or you have at your fingertips. None of these fields are set as required, so we try to make it easy for you to fill this out. And then you submit, and then we review the deals as well before they go live on the platform. So everything's got a little bit of quality assurance that it goes through from our team on the back end, but nothing too onerous. And then once you've added your deal, it'll show up here. The deal share platform, in terms of a tech platform, is pretty simple by design. It's got deals, a database of the deals that are on the platform, and a database of the social investors who are on the platform. And it's got the basic information about each of the deals and each of the social investors, and you can search all of those profiles, and you can get in touch with people. But then once you sort of see the profile of a deal or an investor on the platform, you get in touch, you take it offline from there. It's not a platform that's set up to manage the actual execution of the deal. It's a networking platform that's meant to put you in touch with people and give you some information. So you'll see on any of these deal profiles, I'll show you the one that AVPA has put up for demonstration purpose. If you click on all the deals look like this. You can edit your own deals as well once you put them on. And it just gives you the basic information about the company or organization that's looking for capital. So this is a social enterprise that I've put on here that's supporting women farmers in Uganda. So they're working on no poverty, zero hunger. They're benefiting smallholder farmers, women and girls. We have a strong gender focus to the pilot. So we've got a lot of deals that have come through that are working in the gender space connected to our gender platform at AVPA. And so you'll see a lot of those. I've also seen a lot of deals come through in agriculture. So we've got some sector clusters that are starting to form on the platform. So you'll see that my demo deal, they're looking for $1 million. They also want access to networks and human resources. And they'll tell you a bit here about what they're looking for. So, seeking co-investors to join a fundraising round or whatever your deal is about will be here. A little bit of information about this company, what they do, about their financial requests. And you say, oh, this is an interesting deal. I would love to be a co-investor in a social enterprise benefiting smallholder farmers and women and girls in Uganda. So then you just get in touch with the contact here and take that conversation offline. You can see on every deal who is the social investor who has endorsed this deal. So you can go to their profile. So that's AVPA, the profile that we just saw. You can also see the profile of the capital seeker of the company or organization that is looking for capital. So here's a bit of information just about this social enterprise that's looking for capital. And really, that is how the platform is structured. So you've got profile for every social investor. Nana, do you want to ask a question? I should say you can put questions in the chat or just stop me. So go ahead, tell me.
Okay, Kela, thank you very much for the introduction. My name is Nana Sunday. I work with Africa, which is actually digital agri entrepreneur across Africa. But I got a little bit confused because you said the platform is actually for investors. So that means if I'm coming to put up a deal, but I'm seeing deals looking for funding. So I'm asking, okay, on our platform, we are over 800 entrepreneurs across 33 countries in Africa. So most times we have agri businesses that are looking for funding. So can I come and upload such a deal on the site? I just want to be clear on that.
Yes. So I know the model is a little bit confusing at first because I think most matchmaking platforms are meant for direct access to the entrepreneur that's seeking capital or to the organization that's seeking capital. And really, the idea behind this platform is that it's for investors who are seeking partners or who are seeking support for their portfolio organization or their portfolio companies. So as an investor, yes, if you have supported, maybe 10 agribusiness companies, you've given them maybe funding or TA or other forms of support, then you can endorse those companies to raise further capital by putting them onto the platform. And what you're effectively saying to other investors is, I've worked with this company. I know them. They're good. They are, they have growth potential. They are having an impact. And I would love to see them raise capital from other investors. Maybe you're looking for an exit if you have invested in a company and you're looking for that follow-on investor. Maybe you are trying to fill out a round and you're looking for co-investors. So there's a lot of different reasons that you might endorse a company or an organization on the platform. And we're hoping that despite being a slightly confusing model at first, that it might be a different model that brings something different to the market. It's worked really well in Asia. And so we're excited to see not, just the same kind of matchmaking platform, because we have a lot of those out there already in Africa where, entrepreneurs come on looking for capital, but really a place where investors can connect with other investors around these opportunities. I hope I've answered your question, Nana. I'm happy to answer more questions as they come up. If your question is burning, then feel free to raise your hand. Otherwise, I'll sort of put it in the chat and I'll go through all the questions at the end. So the platform is organized as such. You've got a database of all the social investors who have signed up to the platform, and you've got a database of all of the deals that they have added. So if you click on social investors here, it brings you to this list of all the social investors who are on here. this is my backend login. So you'll see like a red tile is someone who has registered, but we're reviewing, or has not been put onto the platform yet. But you can click on any of these and see, someone's profile. For example, if we want to see Sonata Capital, who's our very first deal share registrant. You can click on and see anybody's profile and get in touch with them directly through the platform. You can see the deals that they've endorsed, and so you can browse through the social investors that way. You can also search if you're saying, oh, I need a co-investor or a partner who works in gender or in agriculture. So I mentioned that we had a lot of agriculture investors on here. So you can search for agri and see a whole bunch of investors come up. You can search for investors who are working in a particular country. So this is why we ask you for your profile data, so that people can search and find you based on your investing activities and preferences. You'll see we have a lot of different types of investors on here. We've got fund managers, foundations, international NGOs. We've got service providers. We've got a lot of different ones here. We've got a lot of foundations. We've got some corporates. So it's really a mix of the different types of investors who are on here, and we're excited about that because we really want to see these different types of investors get to know each other better and be able to share opportunities with each other. So you can search. You can search by anything. You can search by, if you're looking, maybe you're an impact investor and you're looking for someone who can provide some concessional capital to a blended finance deal. You can search for people who deploy grants, or the other way around. You can search by, what type of implementing partners the investor supports. You can search by the type of non-financial capital that they might deploy, where they operate, and what kind of beneficiaries they target. So you can search through, see other social investors, get in touch directly on the platform, and it's the same on the deals side. So on the deals side, you've got the same kind of search bar at the top, and you've got all of the deals on the platform. It shows who has endorsed those deals, and you can search. Let's say I'm interested in looking at, I mentioned gender. We've got, maybe gender lens investment deals. No, none of those. Let's go back and look for, let's see, maybe we want to look at climate action and environment. So you'll see we've got some deals working on climate action. Maybe you want to look for deals in a specific country. So you can come over here and search for deals perhaps in, let's see, maybe I know we've got a bunch in Kenya. So it'll bring up all the deals that are in Kenya. So you can search for, whatever you're looking for, or you can just browse through, check out whichever deals look interesting and see their deal profiles. And if it seems like something that is interesting to you, you can contact them directly here. You can contact the sponsor of the deal, which is sometimes the person working with the company or the organization, or you can go to the social investor and contact them, all directly through the platform. So the other thing that we do with the platform is we know that historically investors are not very good at signing onto platforms. And so we don't expect to just put all the deals here and put all the social investor profiles here and then let you take it from there. We offer a lot of backend support as AVPA. So as we're getting the platform going and trying to build up some critical mass, we are marketing it across our network. We've got a network of hundreds of other investors that operate across the continent. So we've been doing a lot of marketing emails, sending out saying, there are new deals on the platform, sending, saying we've got a deal in agribusiness in Kenya, come check out the platform, sign up to access this deal. So we market your deals in that way. We also sort of will get in touch with you directly and let you know that maybe there's investor X in our network who we think might be interested in partnering with you or might be interested in your specific deal. Would you like a direct introduction? We've had a lot of success with those kind of direct introductions. We've facilitated one deal that we know of so far on the platform, and that's gone through. So that was really exciting. We connected the company with some angel investors who invested in that company. And we've seen sort of really good feedback on that kind of back end support, that hands-on support from our team, of just making opportunistic introductions, putting you in touch with people from our network who we think that you could form a partnership with, always with your approval. We don't share your data without telling you. And just trying to connect people both online and offline. So maybe I'll stop there because I've been talking at you for a while, and I think there are some questions in the chat. So feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question as well. And I'll just look through and see if there are questions in the chat that I can answer. I think we've actually got mostly people telling us who. Yeah, so if anyone has a question, feel free to just unmute and ask it now. Can I talk about the deal that did go through? Yeah, well, with some data protection, but we had a deal that came on that was looking for some bridge finance. That was a gender related deal in West Africa, and it actually came through when we were first building the platform, and so we connected the investor that endorsed that deal with some angel investors in our network in West Africa. And it went through pretty quickly, which was exciting. So we really think that model of being able to connect people opportunistically offline, off the platform, is really useful. Because I know that there's a lot of platforms that put a lot of data out there, and that data just sits there and nothing happens. So we really do put a lot of time into trying to think about, who are the investors or philanthropists or donors in our network who would be interested in these deals, or who we could connect with each other. And that does take it's a very resource heavy approach, but we think it's different than what a lot of other platforms do. And so we're really looking for a quality service here rather than sort of a quantity focused network. Let's see if anybody else. Let's see any other questions. Okay, so Andrew says we have a program called Manufacturing Africa that identifies and supports manufacturing investment opportunities with high development impact. Yes, I know the program. How the platform might help promote those opportunities to investors. Yeah, that's an interesting question because we do have we've had some development programs approach us and ask a similar question. You could put those opportunities onto the platform and endorse them as the UK government. I think when you are looking at deals that are put on the platform, it's worth understanding which kind of investors have endorsed them and what that means. So if it's, the government, have you actually put money into these companies? Are you planning to invest? Are you, or is it just you've found them and are promoting them? We assume that if they are in manufacturing Africa in the program, that you've gone through some level of due diligence to find these companies, and that's kind of what that endorsement signals to other investors, is that you've scanned the market, you've gone through and found these deals, these companies, and you think that they're worth looking at. So absolutely, you can put those on the platform, and people who see those deals will know that that's where they've come from. It would be this is a deal that's coming through manufacturing Africa. This is a deal that the British government is looking at that, you have found in the market in this way. And we give you space on the platform to talk about why you think that deal is worth looking at and to communicate that to other investors. So absolutely. And I think it would be interesting to see what kind of capital those companies need. We're always looking for opportunities to promote blended and catalytic finance. So, is there a need to bring grant capital into any of those companies for any reason? Are they expanding into new markets? Are they looking for strategic partners? Maybe I remember talking a while back to an Ingo that was and a large international NGO that was working. Um, I think they were in Ethiopia or they were in northern Kenya. They were in a market that was somewhat difficult to access. And they were talking about how, they had a lot of networks in that market that they could, share with companies that wanted to expand there. So that kind of strategic partnership of how do you break into a new market where someone is already working, maybe, and it might be, someone in the private sector looking to form a partner with an NGO that knows a market really well or something like that. So we are also looking at doing some deal share live sessions. So as another way to promote the deals that are coming through the platform, we will be looking at lots of different ways to get visibility for these deals and to really bring investors together. We did a session last year on co-investment. What does it take to bring co-investors together? On deals like the ones we're seeing coming through the platform. And we'd like to do more of those sessions this year. We also have been approached by a few people who are looking to promote funds that are raising capital from other investors. And that's something that we're exploring on the Deal Share platform. So if you are a fund sponsor or facilitating a fund, then you can come to us and we can talk to you about, how do we promote that fund to other investors who might be interested in coming into it. So yeah. From Judith, what entities seem to be at the vanguard of doing blended finance in Africa? That's an excellent and very large question. What we have seen, and we've done a little bit of work with Convergence, who are the promoters of blended finance around the world and in Africa. We've seen that there's a lot of activity in blended finance at the larger scale. So you see blended finance happening. A lot of the DFIs are putting a lot of money into promoting blended finance. You see money coming from very large foundations for the concessional capital that goes into blended finance. And it's going into, sectors like energy, green energy, and infrastructure, and into larger deals. There's a lot of catalytic finance that happens in sectors like agriculture. But what we're really interested in as AVPA is how do we promote blended finance at the smaller deal size, which we're seeing a lot less of that. And how do we bring together philanthropists to provide more diverse sources of concessional capital for blended finance deals and for blended finance funds, which I think we're seeing less of. You find, a small handful of, like I said, DFIs, donors, and foundations who are providing concessional capital for blended finance. But if you need concessional capital, there's only a few people you can go to right now, and we're trying to diversify that by connecting more philanthropists and more foundations and family offices who have that capital to impact investors who are looking for it. Great. Thanks, Andrew. So yeah, Frank is telling me to talk more about Deal Share Live and what that would look like. So Deal Share Live is something that that AVPN, our sister organization in Asia, does, and it's a lot like a session that you might find at a conference like SandKelp, where you have entrepreneurs who come and who pitch and get connected with investors who sort of can grill them and ask them questions, but also really to bridge that disconnect that we've sometimes find between investors and entrepreneurs of I'm looking for capital, I'm looking for this kind of support and I'm not getting it. And investors trying to explain what they're looking for. And often, especially in a lot of African markets, we find a disconnect between those two sides. So, the platform that we have, like I said, is for investors, but Deal Share Live is an opportunity to really bring together the entrepreneurs and the organizations that are looking for the capital that have been brought through the platform with potential investors more directly, and also to provide those companies and organizations with a bit more information about the fundraising process, and a bit more guidance from the investor side about how they can actually secure the capital that they're looking for. And that can take a lot of different forms. And we're looking for co-hosts who might want to, do Deal Share Live sessions with us, bring on your portfolio, and bring on your network as well, to sort of promote those sessions more broadly. So happy to talk to anyone who is interested in joining us for organizing one of those sessions, and we can bring our network to join those sessions as well. So keep talking at everyone. If anyone has a question, please do just unmute and chime in. I will also put my email in the chat in case anybody would like to follow up directly with me. Please feel free to get in touch. Does anybody else have a question?
This is Judith. Before we pop off, and hello to everybody.
Hi, Judith.
This first of all, congratulations on your effort.
Thank
It
you.
looks amazing. I'm going to drill down. I think all of us will. I'm wearing a couple different hats. I'm both a private investor. I do impact investment advisory work, and I've been an entrepreneur. And in advance of SunCup, I'm looking at trying to unearth what has worked and what hasn't. Obviously, aggregating investors and trying to provide a platform for people to speak to one another about the opportunities is one of them. But there are many issues, if you will, and that we need to, I guess, collaborate on in order to get impact to reach the ground in much greater ways. So there's a lot of activity, lots of training, lots of platforms, lots of white papers, lots of conferences. And for the 500 million Africans under the age of 20 or so, 25, who are going to want jobs. How do we scale? How do we do what we're doing at a completely different level? This is one important tool for sure. But I'm just curious if you all or anyone on the platform has some concrete ideas about how to really augment the order of magnitude, given what we have in front of us. Thank you.
Thank you, Judith. Yeah, I think that's a really important point, and that is something that we are quite focused on at AVPA and with this platform is really crowding in investment into what is working, and I do think that that sets our platform apart a little bit from others, is to help you dig through the noise of all of those white papers and all of the everything that's happening across Africa every day, which is fantastic. But to really be able to find the right partners to scale what is working in your portfolio. And of course, that means that we will miss some opportunities with this platform. The earliest stage entrepreneurs who don't have investors yet, or who don't have investors who want to endorse them, that's for a different platform. That's a more of a VC for Africa kind of approach, and there's a lot of support that exists in the market already for those entrepreneurs, which is fantastic. Well, depending on which country you're in, but it's growing all the time across the continent. But what we really do want to focus here on is helping to move an organization or an entrepreneur along what we call the continuum of capital. So, there's so many points where the fundraising cycle can fail, right? Where you can hit the valley of death or the pioneer gap, or fail to raise growth capital, or fail to reach that next stage of growth. And we're really trying to address that here by saying an entrepreneur or an organization requires lots of different types of capital to grow as they go, on their journey to scale. They don't require just, one kind of impact investor or one kind of foundation or philanthropist to support them. They need everybody along that line, from the early stage to the later stage, from the grant capital to the equity capital to the hybrid capital to the blended finance to the innovative finance. And it's really hard to navigate that space if you don't have access to all the many different types of investors who are out there. We did a landscape study last year looking at all the different types of social investors who are operating in Africa. There are thousands, but we identified hundreds and hundreds of them deploying all different types of capital in all different ways. And it's really hard to navigate that if you're trying to scale as a company. So that's really what we're trying to get at here with this platform.
Yeah, Rachel, if I can just jump in here to Judith's question. I think, Judith, that's a really good question. And I think that's one of the things that has held back the creation of like really multinationals on the continent, not just in the private space, but also in the impact space. And I think there's some really exciting things we'll need to think about. And one of the things that AVP will be looking at is how, for example, what opportunities exist for the social impact space within the free trade agreement. Over and above that, we'll also be looking to see what can we learn from other parts of the world, like the Asians have done some of this stuff really, really well. And we're going to be leveraging our network from a sister network in Asia to understand how can we accelerate Africa's learning from lessons learned within and beyond. So please stay in touch, keep asking the questions, because we can create, if not conversations, we can create solutions of how we can deal with some of these issues that are very progressive to the continent. So thank you for your question.
Thanks, Frank. That was our fearless CEO, for those of you who don't already know Frank. Let's see, we've got another message. Thanks, Pam. So yeah, all really good questions. And this is a pilot. So what we really want is people to join. It's free. We're at your disposal. We want to support your portfolios. We want to help you connect with each other. And we want your feedback. We want to know how we can make this service work better. We want to know, what do you need? What do you need in support of your portfolio and your work? We really want to hear from you. So please reach out. Please reach out to me, register for the platform. Let us know what you're looking for. And we really look forward to working with you all. And I know it's late in the afternoon for some of you dialing in from East Africa. So I'll leave it there unless anybody has any more questions, but also happy to follow up by email. Great. All right. Thanks, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. And we look forward to connecting with you all. We'll send you a follow-up email as well after this. All right. Take care, everyone. Oh, sorry. Before everyone signs off, Dorian is telling me that we should let you all know AVPA is headquartered in Nairobi. We've got thanks, Olivia. We have regional directors in Nairobi, in Lagos, and in Johannesburg. So you can also reach out to them.